Ladies and gentlemen, today I have with me the latest compact SUV on the block. In fact, two of them. This is the new Nissan Magnite, and I'm driving both the variants that are available, the 5-speed manual transmission variant as well as the CVT variant. Now both of these come with a 1-liter turbocharged petrol engine, which is a new engine for Nissan, and I'm going to tell you how this Magnite drives, as well as all about the features it has, the space, and whether it is a worthy opponent to the Tata Nexon, the Mahindra XUV300 and the Maruti Vitara Brezza. A quick word on the design of the Nissan Magnite. It is built on the CMFA Plus modular platform that is also shared with the Renault Triber and upcoming Kiger. It weighs about 1039 kilos and is quite well built. The front may look like a Datsun because of the grille, but it carries the Nissan badging. It gets all LED lighting on the top spec variants up front. At the rear, the tail lamps blend in well with the boot, and it's quite pleasing to look at from all angles. It is pretty well equipped. The seats are supportive, it gets fairly decent plastic quality, and the fit is largely okay. The AC vents are sports car-like. It gets a 10-inch touchscreen with smartphone connectivity, CarPlay, and a 360-degree camera system. So this is the Nissan Magnite with the 5-speed manual transmission, and I must say I was a little surprised by the way this car picks up. It's very peppy. I mean, it's got 100 PS of power and 160 Newton meters of torque, but it's the way the torque comes in very early, with this being a turbocharged engine, that makes this car actually quite drivable. It is a very peppy car, no doubt. Well, they used to say there's no replacement for displacement. This is a 1-liter 3-cylinder turbocharged engine, and it's the turbo that really makes all the difference. Nissan claims 20 kilometers per liter average fuel economy on this car, and I have the fuel economy gauge up over here. In this kind of city traffic, I'm still getting around 18 kilometers per liter after resetting it, so that's pretty good. The Magnite feels very light. The steering also is fairly light. It has adjustment for just tilt up and down, and there's a good driving position that you can get. It's quite a commanding driving position. You're sitting high up. There's good all-round visibility. You can see pretty well in the mirrors. The glass area is also quite wide. You don't feel cramped. Yes, Nissan's kind of loaded this car with features, which I'll talk about in just a bit. So how does it feel in the rear seat of the Nissan Magnite? Well, one thing I can tell you, it is a fairly spacious car. Now for a driver of my height, 5 foot 8 inches, I've adjusted even the front passenger seat to the same length. And this has quite a lot of legroom over here. They've scooped out the seat back as well. And I can put my feet under like this. Good under thigh support, good legroom. Enough place to keep my arms. There's a drop down armrest over here, and fairly decent headroom as well, because the roof too is scooped out this way. You get AC vents at the rear, and you get a 12-volt charging socket down here. There are door pockets that can hold 1-liter water bottles, and there are speaker slots in the door. Of course, this one comes with a complete touchscreen infotainment system. Parcel tray up back. Now, can it seat 3 abreast? That seems a little bit of a tight squeeze, but it's not that wide. Still, it would be fairly comfortable for even 5 people, but it's best to carry 4 in the Magnite. Seating position is fairly upright, but not really uncomfortable, and it feels quite airy in here because there's a lot of glass area You have these tiny quarter glasses over here that bring in a little more light. So all in all, not a bad place to be in. Boot space is 336 liters and there is a 60-40 split rear seat. So I'm now driving the Nissan Magnite CVT variant. The CVT is very convenient in city traffic, especially in bumper-to-bumper stop-go conditions. It has a creep function, moves very slowly, absolutely no issues. The CVT variant is tuned more towards fuel efficiency. So what happens is, while you want quick overtaking, that doesn't quite happen. But if you get up to cruising speed and you ease up on the throttle, you'll see the revs drop dramatically and it just cruises along, giving you better mileage. And that's what CVTs do. Yes, there's a bit of that rubber band effect in the Nissan Magnite, but it's not that pronounced. The CVT though is best for city conditions, bumper to bumper traffic. It's pretty convenient. What about the steering of the Nissan Magnite now? It is pretty light. In fact, it's almost too light. So while it's very convenient at city speeds, on the highway you find that you would have wanted it to weigh up a little more than it does. In addition to that, the suspension is slightly on the stiffer side. You do feel some of the smaller bumps filter into the cabin. And this is a pretty light car, so it does feel a bit skittish at high speeds. But in the city, it's good because of this commanding driving position and the way you can dart in and out of traffic. I think it really makes a case for itself as a daily city-used vehicle. I'm glad that Nissan has given the Magnite cruise control, and in typical Renault Nissan style, first you've got to switch on the switch over here to activate cruise control and then control it with the steering control over here. I quite like this LCD display with the choice of different screens that you have, and I've noticed one interesting thing. When you switch on cruise control, the speedometer turns purple. With these LCD screens, you can toggle between having just the speedometer readout in bold right up front, or you have the tachometer and the speedometer, and then you have one screen with the trip computer in between, and then you have one which even shows you tire pressure. Now for a car in this price segment, I think the Magnite is fairly well equipped. Yeah, sure, people will say like, I want a sunroof in the car, but not very practical in Indian conditions. So I'm not one that really misses a sunroof. But it has wireless charging, which I find very convenient, automatic climate control, power folding mirrors, complete touchscreen infotainment system with steering audio controls. All variants of the Nissan Magnite come with 2 airbags as standard, and ABS of course, because that's part of the safety norms now. That said, you also get traction control, hill start assist on these top spec variants. So all in all, how would I compare the Nissan Magnite to say a Tata Nexon or a Mahindra XUV300? I'd say the Magnite is for those who want a city compact SUV that's easy to park, got some nimble handling, you can dart in and out of city traffic, and it is a fairly spacious vehicle. Of course, as far as engine choices go, you get only the 1-litre turbo petrol in the top spec variants, and you get the naturally aspirated 1-litre 3-cylinder petrol engine in the lower variants. There is no diesel in the Magnite on offer. So after driving 2 variants of the Nissan Magnite, the CVT version and the 5-speed manual transmission with this 1-litre 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine, which one do I like? I'd say I like the 5-speed manual transmission better with the turbocharged petrol engine because it's just that much more sportier and gives you a better feeling of control. So if you're an enthusiast, you'll pick the manual transmission. That said, the CVT works well in city traffic. It's got that creep function, can just go through bumper to bumper traffic without any hassles at all. and when you do need to kind of dart in and out of traffic, the CVT has the oomph, but out on the highway there's a bit of that rubber band effect. So it's not the perkiest of the lot. The manual would probably be a better bet.